your boy Bleeves. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always. It's been a long day, I mean a long week, maybe a long year, so let's get something clear. We're gonna stock up on some party favors later on. Tell everybody they're invited, you should come along. Best to bring your good foot, ladies gonna be dancing on the ceiling. Cocky and appealing, possibly revealing, getting sideways like a bridesmaid as she vibrate. If you a lightweight, hope you hydrate. We gon' tip the bottles back, busting out the fat sacks. People wearing costumes, chewing on a mushroom, something like a wonderland. Understand? Going down the rabbit hole with my kinfolk to another land. Damn, I said we do it like this. Magic carpet riders on some third eye shit. Mr. Pine Cones come a long, long way, so everybody get sideways. Sing it. I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting sideways. Pass the bottle back my way. Everybody's getting sideways.
What is going on, believers? Guys, I hope everybody's having a great morning. My name is Bleeves. This is Breakfast with Bleeves, and we are in the house. It looks like the market has really started to get something of a pump on. Now, it's been muted a little bit. We really need to see what will the American market do. The American market is thirsty for money. We know that. They're always looking to find a different way in order to snake profit out of any and every market. And, you know, we've seen it time and time again. Now, the question then becomes, what will they do when the market opens up? And at this point, the market is set to open in about 25 minutes. And if we look at the Dow pre-trading, then we're going to see that we're up about 201 point on Dow futures and the S&P at 25. Now, we've been in that situation a couple times before. We can look at the fear and greed index, and we are still in fear. Now, we have been in neutral for a period of time, and we were almost into greed a couple of times over the last few days. You can see down here, the numbers have shown we've hit levels of extreme greed, et cetera, et cetera. But market momentum is an extreme fear. Stock price strength is an extreme greed. Price breadth is an extreme greed. Put and call options are an extreme fear. Volatility is basically neutral. Safe haven demand and junk bond demand. And junk bond, basically cryptocurrency is like a junk bond. So that's why you're seeing these numbers as they're playing out. People are not really looking at the risk market as seeing a place to, especially high risk markets. They're not looking to take on additional risk. Bond yields, by the way, went down on Friday. Now, when a bond yield starts to go down, then that generally means that people are going to be more risk inclusive. And we haven't yet seen it. We've seen just basically sideways trading up until a little bit of a pump a little while ago. We did see ETH pump to about 1682, it's settling right now at around 1665 as the pre-market goes in, and as the Chads wake up and they say things like, yeah, bro, like totally could make some profit, because you know what I mean? Like I bought it like 1590, you know what I mean? Righteous. Or whatever shit Chads say. So that's where we are now. On to Luna Classic, because that's kind of the big dog in the yard right now, and that's the one that's probably going to make a bunch of millionaires out of the people that watch me. And look, we predicted this thing almost to the T. Like if you look at this, we called it right here, and we got exactly what we're looking for. If you look at this right here, this looks exactly like a muted version of this right here. It's happening faster. That's why we're not seeing this sideways action. We're just seeing kind of straight up action. So if we kind of bridge this just a little bit and put the same parameters in, for a shorter period of time, this is exactly what we would be seeing, because you can even see the tops hitting right here where we predicted. You can see the top also hitting up here where we predicted. Then you can see the fall down, which is happening over here. We should be able to retest this line right here, and then from there do a little bit of sideways movement, and then head on up to the next level where we do this, and then up into 5,500. I mean, it looks like it's going to be just that quick. Now, that doesn't mean that it will. It just means that from everything that we're seeing right now, this thing is playing out in an almost textbook fashion. So if you're looking at an entry point for Terra Classic, for where it is right now, and it should be noted, by the way, that and we're going to take a look at this, and I mean, guys, I don't know what to say other than this is out of control. $2.8 billion in volume in the last 24 hours, up 300%. We were talking not too long ago about 100 million volume, 300 million volume. Like, those would be good numbers. There is a clear thirst for Terra Luna Classic at this point, and even the market cap right now is at $2.4 billion. Could easily get to $7 billion before you know it. Now, if you just to put a pin into this as a conversation piece, where we are right now at $2.3 billion, $2.4 billion. If we had 10 billion tokens, and if everything fell down to 10 billion tokens, then that would mean that we would have a 24-cent Terra Classic. So it is absolutely conceivable at this point, and with this much volume, with this level of support happening right now, that we could see some people stop selling, because right now you're seeing some people take profit. Once that stops, and once we get a few more people that are delegating, then once we see that and it starts to make that move, then people are going to start holding a little bit more, and then this market cap's going to shoot up maybe to 5 billion. I mean, look at 800 million. I told you that I don't think it's going to go much higher, and it's gone. It's gone out of its mind, and it continues to soar. Like, this is these are monumental type numbers, and we have never seen anything like this. I want to stress this. We have never seen anything like what is going on in Terra Classic right now. The only other thing that's had this sort of parabolic sort of underlying thing happening is Shiba Inu and Dogecoin. We've seen things go on runs, but at this point, Terra Classic is kind of a meme token, right? And it's evolving into something else. This amount of thirst, this amount of everything that's going into this right now is incredible, and we are all getting set to be on a run of epic sort of proportions. Now, that move up here to 54 is going to take us up to a market cap of about 3.5 billion. But we'd like to double that, because if we double that, then that will drop a zero. That would literally drop a zero, and that would be the first big milestone for us to take part in. And by the way, full disclosure, if you haven't moved your money over at this point, then I would recommend that you go to Portal Bridge if you have not already. Go over to Portal Bridge and do the token bridge, and take your tokens from Wrapped Ethereum or Wrapped BNB, whatever it is that you're holding your wormhole in, and move it over to Terra Classic. Create yourself a station account so that you can get on the Terra station and delegate. I've got 9 million delegated, and let's just do some numbers here. 9 million is currently $3,418. Okay. So that means that, basically $380 per million is what we're talking about. So this is $38 that I have right now in staking rewards that I've earned just in about a week, right? Not a huge amount, but it's $38. And $38 is an okay amount. But if we drop 10x from here, that's $380. And if we do 100x from here, that's $3,800. We do 1,000x, that's 38,000. No, 3,800. Yeah. And then if we do the 10,000, if we get to $1, then these tokens are worth these tokens are going to be worth 113,000. Like, are you shitting me? And if it goes to, say, 38 cents from where it is right now, that's 10, 100, 1,000. So 1,000x from where we are, that would be $13,107. Like that's nonsense. That's out of control. But that's how much you can earn right now by delegating. Now, I did put my wallet over here, full disclosure. I have not looked, by the way, so I don't know where it's trading, but I did put a whole bunch, 6,921 into USTC just to see, just in case it started to pump really, really good, just to see if I could convert and maybe take advantage of it. So if I go to the swap right now, I don't think it's not advantageous for me to make that swap. 737,000 more Luna Classic at this point, which would be almost $300 and something. I'm not sure if that's the play right now. Would like to, I would like to get one more pump in on Terra Classic at this point before anything happens. Hopefully some people are going to be like, oh my God, we need to get some of this before the supply starts to diminish, because they've got a plan for it. And I want to see the plan play out, of course, but I also don't want to lose my position, and I don't want to be holding 6 months. I don't really care. But if they take my 6,921, which at this point is, what's that? $280. Is that right? Yeah, about $280. So if they take my $280 and they put it into Terra Luna at this point, they're going to give me basically another 1 million tokens, or roughly that. So and all I got to do is like, I could do that right now and swap it over and just be done with it. But hopefully I can get a favorable exchange rate before I make the move back over there, or they come up with a better offer for USTC and I'm allowed to keep my tokens. Who knows? But anyway, if you have any questions, you can just go to the portal bridge, move it over there, and do it that way. So, but that's kind of where we are. That's what's going on. Let's get into chat real quick and see what's going on. Told you Mikoto. Mikoto seems to be running well. Pocahontas in the house. What's going on? Steve Blaylock, good morning. What is Mikoto? It's a new token with a Japanese name. Good morning, Tommy. RW, good morning. Good morning, Bleaves. Can you pick Powerball numbers also? Yeah, 1. What's up, Greg? Timsky, what is going on? Juicy Juice in the house. Good morning. Believes Cody Core in the house. What's going on, man? Julian Kim, what is going on? Sakib, good morning. Jay Manuel, good morning. Craig Whipple, good morning. Dustin Martin, what is going on? Rod, good morning, bro. I'd like to hear your opinion on Ape Chain when you have a chance. So let's go look at Ape Chain, because I'm not sure. Whoops. Like, I thought that this was still in the process. I didn't know that we were actually live. All right, give me 1 second here. Yeah, I don't think. Give me 1 second to pull this up. Oh, by the way, Volt is having a nice run right now, dropped to 0. So, all right. So, Ape Chain got on a nice big run. It looks like 7 zeros. Then it dropped it down to 6 zeros. Then it had a massive little run to the upside to about a 500,000 market cap. And then it's coming back down. Now, Ape Chain coming soon. There's only 83 people following it right now. So they're not. Dude, honestly, like, I wouldn't touch this at this point. This could just as likely rug as doing anything else. The M actually goes back to this website, Telegram, because they want you. Look, they want you on Telegram. They want you on Twitter because that's where they get people in. So that part's okay. When you come and look on Token Sniffer, then you can make a determination on their contract. And the contract, it's a 100 of 100, 5% in and out tax, tokens burned 11%, liquidity, and then Pink Lock shows the liquidity. All right, so we're going to do Ape. And we're going to try that one more time. Ape. All right. Well, I should be finding Ape, and I'm not finding Ape. So I'm not sure what's going on with Pink Sale. But Pink Sale. Let's see what this one looks like. Ape Chain is locked. No lock liquidity on Unicrypt. So it looks like it's just locked in Pink Sale. When does it come out of Pink Sale? Because Pink Sale is usually like 2 weeks. So I have no idea. But this, to me, I would not touch this. Not right now. I wouldn't touch this until some things change, until we got a better lock, etc. Now, listen, if they're doing a startup and they're launching this thing as a startup because they want to make a blockchain for apes or something like that, fine. But right now they don't have anything. So a startup like that, look, it's going to have a little bit of pump. It's going to have a little bit of a dump. There's an entry point that you might be able to get to at some point, but I would want more information before I got into something like this. This one looks just dangerous to me right now. So I don't think I would touch it. Only 10 likes. What the hell? Good morning, Family Z. Striker, good morning. Latavia, good morning. I think that actually there is a plan in place for them to do that. So, maybe we'll see. Good morning. Good entry point right now. I don't think so. I think that, it could be, look, this thing is going to go crazy, but, I also think that, we're looking over here at Ethereum, and Ethereum is doing exactly what we're predicting it was going to do. It just hasn't reached, because I was looking at for like 707, but it got to 1682, 1686. So, it was pretty close. And then the American market is probably going to pump it in the next little while. So we might start to see this thing get on a run, get up into the 1700s before it tests the bottom again. Same thing with Bitcoin. So, the markets seem to be, and by the way, you should be very concerned about Bitcoin right now, because if you kind of look at what Bitcoin is doing, and let's touch all of the tops that we can and get kind of an idea. We can see that the direction is in decline, and then we can see over here the same kind of thing here. We're hitting these points right now, and we're hitting that pennant, but we're hitting the pennant coming from the downside, which means that the biggest, we're looking at a bull flat, a bear pennant, which means there's more downside to come with Bitcoin. Because it continues to keep moving down and just creating new bottoms and new lows. And this one, when we got this move down here, and for those of you that don't remember, this is when Celsius sold all their Bitcoin because they're pieces of shit. And that's why they're in bankruptcy, because they're a no good dirtbag organization that steals money from people and says, yeah, bro, we're like presenting people with opportunities to earn profit. You know what I mean? So what you saw here was you saw this come down, and then you started to see this pennant move towards the upside, so that you at least had kind of a warning and could take like a profit or something like that, right? Towards the end of this, you're not seeing a pump out of Bitcoin, and that should be, for all of us, a little bit alarming. And I don't mean that we're not going to see any kind of relief or anything, but I mean, listen, when you're running and of course, share. God damn it. So here it is. When you look at this, you're in a bear pennant. Bitcoin does not look good right now. And if it's not for Ethereum, then it's going to start tanking. So you be very concerned about the overall market. We do have the 17,18,603, whatever the number is over here. 17,567 is that low. Let's go back through the chat just a little bit more. What's going on? I'm always bullish on BTFA. I think something's going to pop pretty soon. God damn, it already happened, man. Just happened. Family Z, MetaMonkey today at 11. Can't wait to see what happens. Look, I don't want to be the bearer of bad tidings here, but don't get your hopes up for, listen, we just got out of 3 or 4 massive pre-sales. And I don't know, listen, and I don't know anything about MetaMonkey other than I do think that it's a fascinating sort of concept. I already said my piece to Austin about it. I'm like, dude, they want 1,000 ETH. That's crazy to me, right? And then he said, yeah, but it's not the same because when Phantom was asking for 1,000 ETH or 1,500 ETH, the price of ETH was way higher. When CVC was asking for that much, the price was that much was higher. When what was that other one? Pixel, when they were doing it, the price was higher. And I mean, and I don't know the price matters. I think what matters is that's how much they want. So they sold out pretty quickly, which is a good sign that there might be a pump on it. But, I'm also hearing some things on the back end that give me cause for concern about the people that are invested in it, because guess what? We're all looking for a pump and dump, right? Everybody who does this kind of stuff on these pre-sales and shit like this, they're looking to just take a big profit and move on, right? So I don't know that this, I don't know that this is going to end well. So I'm only in for $500, by the way, because that's what I thought from the beginning. Like, now I'm in another pre-sale, and I want to be proven wrong. I want to be proven wrong, but it's my understanding that many of the people who were with the team that were there in the beginning, that helped them in the beginning, are no longer with the team. So I don't know what that means. I just know that they're no longer there all of a sudden. And this is now kind of, here's what I saw, right? I saw this spread of people reaching out so that everybody could see MetaMonkey. I saw all of this stuff going on. Then all of a sudden, the people that were doing that and the bigger communities, and there are some bigger communities around here that representatives from those communities were in on MetaMonkey at the time. And I don't have to tell you who they are, because if you watch any of the content, you know who they are, right? Well, all of a sudden they're not associated, but now just Austin and Rodney are. And I'm not alarmed by that, but that's weird. It's weird that all of a sudden, and by the way, Fan puts in a lot of time over there in their chat. They're obviously interested in this project, and they're obviously fascinated by this project, right? And I think for good reason. But it concerns me when everybody who was on the team that was there is no longer on the team and are gone, because either that means the person in charge of making decisions didn't make good decisions to begin with, thus could be making bad decisions behind the scenes still, or they were taking advantage of those people. You know what I mean? Just to get a pre-sale done and just to get the community. So I do have concerns, and I hope that they're bullshit concerns and that it's just me being an idiot. That would be the best. That would be the best for everybody. And if this thing roars and has just a really great launch, then that's gonna be perfect, because that's what this entire market needs right now is a great launch to go perfectly well. And and all of us earn just a little bit of needed extra side money or something like that. Or like with most of these pre-sales, you want to double it. You want to get your initial investment out, and then you want to let your bag ride and just see what happens with it. I hope a lot of people are able to do that. and become long-term investors. But again, there should be concerns. Anytime you see a massive amount of turnover happening in their marketing department prior to the launch of their token, then you should have some concern. You should be paying attention to that, because something doesn't make sense right there. So what's going on, Martin? Yes, I did get in on the pre-sale. Now you know exactly what I think of it. I don't know anything about Lucro. MetaMonkey will dump from pre-sale. That's kind of what I feel like, but I'm not sure. I know it's going to dump now because I know the communities. I know the communities that they just slapped in the face. So yeah, it's going to dump now because there's going to be a lot of people who felt like, yeah, this is a great opportunity, and I'm going to do this for my friend. And now they're like, I don't think so. So, but we'll see it play out. Maybe that'll get absorbed. Lunk at 50 cents. I'm getting a Lunk tattoo at $1. I'm getting a Bleaves tattoo. Everybody should have a Bleaves tattoo. I should come up with a design for a real Bleaves tattoo that says I'm always right, or some kind of shit like that. That'd be awesome. What's going on, Richie? Would you put some more into BTFA? Is this the floor? Yeah, in fact, I did put 2,000 more into BTFA a couple days ago. So yeah, I'm in a little bit deeper than I was before. Good morning, Cheeks. All right, so we did the share the screen thing. God damn it. And where's I gave you the god damn it. All right, so there we are. How much gain do you see for Volt with the listing on Gate? So I think that Volt goes to, let's do some Volt real quick. So right now, Volt is not listed on Gate.io. They're listed on Gate Startup. So this is going to be a longer kind of drawn out process, which is actually a good thing for Volt. On the hour chart, you can see how it's going right now. And the information that we're getting so far doesn't give us, we're not in a position. Look, we need something from Gate.io. Once Gate.io makes an announcement for a real listing, we have the 7th and the 8th. So I got a feeling that we're just going to go with the market. So if Ethereum moves up, we're going to move up. If it doesn't, then we're going to move sideways. But I would consider something along the lines of this right here being exactly what we're going to see happen at our best, right? Because what we're looking at in this regard is a test of 1250, which is the next resistance point, and then a retest of a low. Now, if you can see here, this sideways trading right here, if that does happen around this 1100, if we do see that happen at 1100, which we should see because it ends in 100. So if we see something like that, then we're going to create another point of, we're going to create another point right there at boom, 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 1100. And then of course you're going to have one at 1200, but 1250 is the real resistance point. So, if we do this, then we probably test here. And this is probably not accurate. It's probably like a downside move, just a little bit, but that's where I think we end up on Gate.io. And then Gate.io, it's going to have some impact, but it's what comes right after Gate.io that has the bigger impact, and then what comes right after Gate.io that has an even bigger impact. If they all happen in succession and they all happen in unison the way they're supposed to happen, then we're going to have a nice big run. Because, in fairness, we have a long way to go to get back to this all-time high. I mean, you got to look at how far that all-time high is, how far away that is up there. And there's all these different points right now that represent resistance. This was just a massive moon. So, once we get through some of these spots, then we'll be able to see where it's going. So we'll get something from Gate.io on the startup. Then the startup will be completed, and then it'll say something about it actually being listed on Gate.io. That's when we'll see another big move. Hopefully that move gets us through 1250, and then we get another listing, OKEX, BKEX, whatever one it's going to be next, that moves it up into this 1800 level. That's optimal. That's kind of the play right now. That's what we want to see, and if that happens, then that's another 80% from where we are right now. That puts us in a positive direction. and continue to accumulate hodlers. That's that's what it's all about at this point. So that's what I think is going to happen. Don't you think the big metaverse projects have their own AI department and they already have the funds and talent? No, because I think that I actually think that what's happening with MetaMonkey AI is that they're revolutionizing something that didn't exist before, and that is they're going to make a programmable store for your game, and that's going to take it out of your hands and your AI department. And I think that actually represents a cool opportunity for you as a programmer to not have to put any effort into it, and to be able to integrate with other tokens and with other stuff. And I think that in the long term, a singular entity kind of doing that, or two other entities or three other entities competing for that space, is probably the optimal move for them. So yes, they could do it, but it's another problem that might have been overcome here. And remember how many of these metaverse tokens and games and places are operating on shoestring budgets, and they're doing it based on pre-sale, and they're doing it based on people just investing. And I mean, how many, like, what was the Platanoverse, something like that? They don't have $1 billion in order to make their own metaverse. They're doing it based on people investing in their token. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of these tokens that are out here, and this provides a service to those people. So I think that it has legs. We'll just see how far it goes. Launches at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Power's in the house. What is going on, man? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. What happened with marketing? They had people in marketing that are no longer in marketing. And it seemed like at the last minute, they took the people out of marketing that were in marketing and basically just replaced them with Austin. And now Austin was, and I don't have a problem with Austin. I mean, Austin's been involved with it really since the beginning. So it made sense that he would be, that he would be part of it. But I don't like when you make a change at the very last minute like that, because what you did is you took advantage of somebody who was already in that place, already doing it, who already had, look, when you tell this person, I'm going to put you in marketing, and I have, and I trust in you to go do this thing, right? Well, then he goes to the places where he knows, right? So if it's somebody from Shiba Inu, well, then he's going to go back to his Shiba Inu people and say, hey, look, I got this project, and all you guys want to invest in it, and they're going to get a bunch of Shiba Inu investors. Or if it was from Terrarium, they're going to get a bunch of Terrarium investors. Or if it's from Volt, they're going to get a bunch of Volt investors. Or it's from Shift, they're going to get a bunch of Shift investors. If it's from Saitama, they're going to get a bunch of Saitama investors. Wherever your home, quote unquote, is, you're going to get those investors. Well, if you do that, and then at the end of the run, before you even launch the token, you're like, yeah, we don't need you anymore. Then you just took advantage of that person, or at least you took advantage of that community in order to get them as investors. And listen, here's the thing: the thing that Milton said to you just recently about when he was talking about Terrarium, which I know might have escaped a lot of people, but it was very valid. And it's nothing against Austin. It's nothing against Rodney. It's nothing against me. It's just that, we have communities and we have tokens that we like or that we don't like, right? So here's what you know. I'm going to say good shit about Volt. Austin's going to say good shit about MetaMonkey. Rodney's going to say good shit about whatever Austin says good shit about, right? Because they seem to like pretty much the same thing. They seem to be on the same page, right? And we're not always going to agree because, again, we all have like different audiences and stuff like that. But what he said was that, if an influencer is out here and an influencer changes and decides, you know what, I no longer want to cover it, it's like Saitama, then that affects where the money goes, and the money flows to a different program or a different project from there. And that was his concern, that it's moving away from this great project that could be life-changing in Terrarium, and that it's going into another project, which is just going to be like a pump and dump or something like that, and that money is being moved around. And that's a fair assessment, because, that's kind of, a lot of people are coming asking about Luna Classic. I mean, you see, we're talking a lot about Luna Classic and where it's going to go. We're talking a lot about Volt and where it's going to go. Every day we're talking about Ethereum and where it's going to go. And Ethereum is not a great example of that. But again, you get the point. Like we're talking about specific tokens, right? But as a group or as a community, let's say that we all become millionaires on Luna Classic. Well, I'm going to come on here with my pinky out as a millionaire. And I'm going to start talking like this. I'm going to say, all right, guys, now we're going to go on to Volt and we're going to pump up Volt and we're going to get as much money as we can. Okay, Lovey. And then we're going to go to, we're going to start looking at different tokens and stuff like that because we made our money in that market. So what he said had some validity. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't wrong. And that's just kind of what's going to happen. But guess what? With MetaMonkey, they went to a specific token. They got the marketing people, marketing person. Then they got, the people that follow him as an investor. And then they said, oh yeah, now we don't need you because we got Austin. Well, when you do shit like that, you're going to get a big dump when you launch. So everybody expecting this big moon that might have gotten that big moon. Everybody who expected that, you may not get that anymore because the dynamic has changed based on that. Doesn't mean it's not a great project. Doesn't mean it's not a good project. Doesn't mean that I'm right about that it's going to dump. But there's a group of people in there that are investors who are going to dump on this project now because they do not like the fact that one of their own was disrespected. It's plain and simple. MetaMonkey piss off some powerful individuals in this place, and that will be their downfall. There you go, man. You got it. BGX token is rocking it. Wonder what's going on there. I have no idea. When does Volt list on USA Exchange? As soon as we know, you'll know. Believe, just want to thank you so much. I put 500 in Luna Classic the other day, and yesterday I was able to double up and take out my buy-in and let the profits ride. Thank you so much, man. You're absolutely welcome, man. That's it. That's what this is all about, is getting into these projects, making that kind of life-changing shit happen. So people mad because Pablo and Larry are no longer marketing guys. No, well, why would they not be? If you invested because of those guys and now those guys are gone, that's not smart. That's not a great move. Because the people that follow them, those are the investors that you got in with in order to help start pumping the price. So then it becomes, what happens next? And those people, they're the people that support those guys are not going to be appreciative, and they're going to dump. They're going to be like, you know what? I'm not worried about this token. And then the logical response is, well, why would you not? Because this is a life-changing opportunity, and you couldn't be blah, 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 blah. Well, sorry, but I could get in at a lower price, because if this price is going to dump, then it doesn't have the value that I thought it was going to have. So I'm better off like selling, taking a small bit of profit, waiting for a massive dump, and then putting my $500 back in at a much lower price if that's the way that it's going to go. So, I look, man. Things are done, moves are made. We'll see how it plays out. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe it just pumps and pumps and pumps and pumps. Because again, at the end of the day, I think it's a great concept and a great idea. While you're talking about gaming, how do you feel about Gala? I love that. I mean, I love Gala. I think that's most of the games that I've seen on Gala are really cool kind of games. I don't think anything that's launched so far is like life changing or life altering. But they had an MMO that they were working on, which I was really into, which I thought was great. And then they had a space game that I thought was really, really good too. So what's going on, man? There we go. When did they let the other influencers go? Was it before pre-sale? I don't know that it was before pre-sale. I know that it's as of right now. And I talked to one of them like 3 days ago and asked them about it, and they said that they were still with the project. They just weren't on the website, because I went to their website and said, hey, you're not on there anymore. And he was, and they were like, yeah. And I said, okay, so what happened with that? And they were like, oh, no big deal. Just I didn't want to. I wasn't going to fully dox on that, so they couldn't have me on the website. So I said, okay, no worries. And that was August 24, and they were still with it. CertiK wanted me to fully dox to them, and that was the idea. So then here we are. Ta-da. Yeah, I made a video for it too because I still think it's a good project. This is just kind of an odd move. Well, let's move on for right now, and let's go to this one right here. For those of you who don't know, the Bellatrix merge has happened on Ethereum. Let's go talk about this one real quick. The merge is divided. This is the Ethereum merge, by the way. There's Bellatrix and there's Paris, and the Bellatrix merge happened. And the first is the Bellatrix upgrade, which was successfully deployed at the counter towards a TTD threshold of blah, blah in the measure of activity on the network. The next upgrade, Paris, will be initiated, and the technical effects of the switch from POS to PW will be open. After Paris is triggered, the merge is only a few days away from being complete. However, the Ethereum Foundation has not given an exact date for the merge. Their latest blog suggests that the transition might be complete anywhere between September 15 to September 20. And we'll probably get more information about that as it's going along. Moreover, the merge is the biggest event for the crypto industry this year and is the most anticipated transition. In the new proof of stake method, Ethereum will use much less energy consumption, which is 99.95% less, as per the foundation's estimations. Reports also state that gas fees will see a reduction post Ethereum merge, and investors can initiate transactions at a nominal fee. Now, this was not going to happen right away. You might see a little bit of side action because of that, but the amount of transaction fees are probably not going to be down as much as you think. And hey, hello from Vietnam, man. I appreciate you coming in, man. I thank you so much for your support. Did you hear about Elgrow token giving 6% Lunk rewards? I'm not sure. I mean, anything that's going to give you some Luna Classic at this point is probably good. It's going to be, it is going to be good news. But I don't like these side tokens. I don't like Lunatix. Lunatix is one of those tokens that did that has burned, by the way, more tokens than anybody else at this point. And in fact, they doubled the amount of themselves as top burners. They've now burned 2 billion tokens. Lunatix has just been massive, and they reached out to me, and I kind of ignored them because I wasn't really into this, because that's not a function for me. It's not a use case. It's not a reason for something to exist. But more power to them for doing it. You know what I mean? Any news on Shift? The app launched on Friday in beta on the iOS store, and it should launch on Friday on the Android store for beta testing. And then it should go live once a few of the bugs are worked out. Where there were some grammatical errors and stuff like that we were already working on. And then we should have some more information. We want to get it launched before October 1st because that's when the nationwide campaign happens. So it's important to get all this stuff underway. So they're working on it right now, and we should know more soon. Now, MEXC, by the way, on Luna Classic, they are doing their own burn process, which doesn't have anything to do with the 1.2%. Even though the 1.2% burn is now part of this, and with Binance and KuCoin, you can see here. By the way, KuCoin ran out of supply of Luna Classic last night, and they were giving an announcement. News. KuCoin ran out of Luna Classic. So according to CoinMarket data, Luna Classic is up as much as 70%, blah, blah, blah. Notably, a user on Twitter with the handle LunkDAO noted that the demand has been so high that KuCoin ran out of tokens. The platform's total Luna Classic holdings in the margin market have reached the maximum limit. Margin order of buying Luna Classic has been temporarily suspended. There are so many people trading Luna Classic right now that KuCoin ran out of supply. That's the kind of shit that that's the kind of shit that will move a price up quickly, right? When you find out that there's such a run on your supply that you don't even have enough to continue trading, that's exactly the move that you want to see. That'll make everybody want to get in on something, because people are going to start feeling like that FOMO. That FOMO is kicked in. You can see that from each one of these steps, right? The FOMO has kicked in, but we haven't seen FOMO yet. Once we get in there, once we have a good few days, and once somebody goes in and they look at the remaining supply, and once they start to see that, remember 6.9 trillion is the big number right now. 6.904 trillion. Once that number 6.8, 6.7, 6.4, 6.2, and people are like, oh my God. And they start doing the math on how long it takes for the supply to just evaporate. Once they see that play out, then you're going to see a lot of holy shit moments, because people are going to want to make sure that they have enough for when these zeros start to drop, and these zeros are going to drop. So I basically, the way I saw it was, if you have 10 million tokens and it goes to 10 cents, you've made $1 million. If you've had 10 million tokens and it goes to $1, then you have $10 million. If you sell it a penny, you got 100 grand. So, that's where this whole thing is. So, we'll see. And by the way, when I say this, it's at least 6 months. It's going to be at least 6 months before we start to see anything happen. Getting in right now at any time is, I think, a good time. You have to look at the chart if you're going to do any swinging, or if you're going to do any, if you're trying to get the biggest dip possible, then I think the biggest dip possible is maybe 34 right here on this green line. And you can see here that it's kind of pushing down to try to test that right now. I don't know if it's going to make it, but it did over here, and we got the test down here, which is what we should see. What we should see based on this is we should see a move down here, and then a swing back up, and then here we go. So that's the logical testing parameter. Whether or not we get down here or not, remains to be seen. But we should see a little bit of, we should see people give up just a little bit. So you can get in at 34, then it's going to 55. That's the way it looks like. There's no slippage needed for a pre-sale, buddy. Oh, and don't forget, by the way, DeConnect is also DeConnect. That's the one. That's another launch that's about to happen. The DeConnect coin here. The pre-sale for this is over, by the way, but the apps are almost available. You can go to, I've got it pinned on my profile, but if you're interested, there were 2 pre-sales that I'm in. One of them is MetaMonkey and one of them is DeConnect. So the difference between MetaMonkey and DeConnect for me was actually pretty simple. DeConnect doesn't need any money to launch. MetaMonkey needed 1,000 ETH. DeConnect literally wants to launch with like 200,000 as a 200,000 market cap. So they did the original pre-sale where you got in for 0.04 cents, and then the Pulo pre-sale is going to start at 0.05 cents, and that's the Pulo right here. And it just started up a couple of hours ago. So this one is, and they're not looking for a whole lot, you know what I mean? And I think that allows it to move more when it launches. You know what I'm saying? I think that gives it the opportunity to get on one of those nice big pumps. And the guys behind this, they don't need any kind of random financing from somebody in order to make something happen. They've already made it happen. In fact, the website's already underway. So You can go into the courses and you can start earning crypto and rewards by getting involved in each one of these. There's even a new one, Smart Contract Introduction, and multiple lessons for how to do that. Do your own research basics and do your own research basics. If you click on this one, do your own research by Bleaves. That's one of the courses. Also, I've done some on how to read candles. The other one that I did just recently was on how to read patterns on a chart so that you're informed. And I mean, it's, I think this is a very cool site with a good future. So I'm happy to be part of it. So if you're interested, you can follow me at Bleaves Crypto, and you can go check it out there. And if you're interested, get in on the pre-sale right there. The launch is looking to be sometime within the next week or so. I don't know if it's on Pulo. It ends on September 9, so that's going to be Friday, and the estimated launch is September 12th. So there we go. All right, so there we go. As long as if you have Luna Classic, by the way, I would really recommend that you just use the portal bridge and move over, get onto the station, and then just start delegating on your station account so that you earn more Luna Classic. If they're giving you Luna Classic, at some point, I mean, you got to understand, again, if this does what we think it's going to do, my stake right now, my staking rewards are 113,353. So if I think this is going to $1, they've paid me $113,353 long term in order to just hold this right now. So, I mean, what's not to like? You know what I'm saying? And then if you want to, you can actually withdraw all the rewards. Very small fee, by the way. You can withdraw all the rewards and then put it all back in. And everybody does, I think, the same, by the way. Validator details, self-delegation, current max. See, there's the voting power. And then you can see what votes they did. And you can see each one of them as they went down the list. So again, I mean, you can anybody who supports what you want, those are the people that you can give your delegation to and let them represent you in the voting process. Selling during the launch, MetaMonkey is going to charge you, I think, 28% or maybe 18%, maybe, because it's supposed to be 10% in and 10% out. And I think that they had an argument with somebody from Terrarium over it because it was not 28%, it was 18%. So I think in order for that to work, then you're going to have to do more than 18% slippage in order to sell on the launch. How much does this big pump have to do with the MEXC burn event? Not very much, because the MEXC burn is nominal. Here you can see how much was burned. They burned 500 million. Lunatics burned 2 billion. So MEXC has not done a whole lot. Paul, you're not staking, you're delegating. So there's no time limit on it. You can do it for as long as you want or as short as you want. I can pull out right now, and what I could do is I could pull all of it out right now and then put it all back in. And then instead of delegating 9 million, it would be 9,113,365. Like, you can continue to do that as long as it's worth doing. Like, what you want to do is you want to earn a little bit, and it costs you a little bit in order to do it. So, those transaction fees are what you're looking for. And there's no transaction fees right here from all nodes. There's 0 fees until October 1st. So it's not going to cost you anything to do business with them. BTC Secure, 0 fees until, I don't know when they're going to start charging, but some of these charge a fee. Staking right now is a 0 fee. But, I would think that I would think this is the opportunity that to accumulate more. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to let it sit for a while and see what happens. What's a good point of entry for Luna Classic? I guess that's this line right here, man. 34.89, 3 zeros, 34.89. Right now looks like that's where the fight's moving to. It's going to be right here, and then the pump is going to come from there, go a little sideways, and then we head up to like 55 or something like that. I mean, the market could tire out because you're starting to see it happen right now on Ethereum because the American Chads are doing. Oh God, American crypto investors are such dirtbags now. So now we're seeing just a massive sell-off happening, and yep. America do what America do. Dow Jones is now down 100 points on the day. The SPY is down 1.29%. Remember, this is something that was starting up 200 points, and it just lost all of the points that it was up in the pre-market trading. So this is just America. America's a bunch of weak-handed hoes. I mean, I guess. All right, how long did it take to get 113,000? It took maybe 7 days. Hold on. I guess I can tell you. Hmm. 10 days. I delegated it 10 days ago. So I'm getting 11,000 a day, I guess. So that's a pretty good amount. And the fee was only 2.62 Luna Classic. Like, fees are ridiculous. So there you have it. And then here it is. I swapped 992 Luna Classic for 6,921 USTC. Just wanted to see, maybe just hold on to that for a little while. Anthony Hawkins, there's a video coming out in just a few hours that will explain to you exactly how to do that. That's part of today's content, is explaining to you how to go from, you can use Portal Bridge. You can use Portal Bridge to connect straight across. All right, looks like my time is up. So, all right, guys, not financial advice. My name's Bleaves. I am always right. We will see you for Bedtime with Bleaves tonight. Be careful in your trading today and watch out, because America, Jesus Christ, America is doing what can only be described as American shit and being weak-handed chads. So, dear weak-handed chads, you don't represent my country. Have a nice day, and we will see you guys again soon.